And hello again, Newfoundland and Labrador, and wherever you're watching this from, I guess, whether it be in this province, across the country, or wherever, I guess. Thank you all for coming in, tuning in, and joining us again here this evening for another episode of Talk NL. My name is Rudy Norman, and once again, I'm here and joined by my trusty co-host once again, Mr. Graydon Pelley. Graydon, how's it going?
Rudy, I am doing okay. Things are going good. Go Leafs, go.
Yeah. Looks like as if we don't divide people enough now, Grade, with politics. let's divide people a little further. But yeah, you and I are both hardcore Leafs fans, so last night was a good night. Yeah, it's looking good for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's exciting. It's about time. I'm sorry. You Montreal Canadiens fans, you got it in '93. It's about time we got our turn. So, but it's a great day, Graydon, here again in the province. Spring is well underway, and I think we're headed towards summer, and some nicer weather is in the forecast. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I've got the vegetable garden going, the greenhouse going. Had our first barbecue today, so all is well.
That's good. Oh, see, that's the official sign of summer. And last week, I mean, we had this past weekend, I guess, was May 24.
Yeah,
So that's the unofficial. Even though we got snow, that's
yeah,
the
that's right.
unofficial start of the summer season.
Right on.
Yeah, so it's going to be good, hopefully. So Graydon, I mean, we've got an excellent show in store for us again this evening. A very special one, one that we've been looking forward to for the last couple of weeks. That we've known this was going to happen, and it's also one that's probably near and dear to your heart because it's involving a story that you've been working with and involved with for the last little while, and a member of the board of this foundation and stuff. So, tell us what do we have in store this evening?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it this evening, Rudy. Of course, we hear lots of stories, good news stories across the province and Labrador and throughout the world, of course, where people are doing great things for their fellow human beings. And tonight we've got a couple here on the podcast and we hear stories, many times about tragedy, the loss of a loved one, and how people have turned tragedy into something positive, and they've come out on the positive end of tragedy. And it's extra hard when you talk about the loss of a child. And tonight we're very fortunate to have the founders of the Islaview Foundation, Sarah and Michael Short, from here in Deer Lake. And we're going to be talking about the foundation. We're going to be talking about Isla, who this foundation is all about. And they're going to share their story. It's a very heartwarming story. It's sad, but where we are today in this story, it's very heartwarming to see. They have taken the tragedy and the loss of a little girl, beautiful little girl, and turned it into something that's affecting so many people and helping so many people throughout the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. And we're going to get into that story tonight. And I invite anybody who has joined us, stay with us and listen as we hear from Michael and Sarah Short.
Absolutely, and also the reason why we're doing this, I guess we should let the people know, is kind of twofold. Because on Friday, and we'll talk more about this obviously, but on Friday is a very special event there in Deer Lake, and I think it's touching the province. Islaview Day is taking place this Friday, so we'll talk about that. And throughout this podcast, we'll give you more information. But there should be a button on this post if you're watching this on Facebook. If not, we'll tell you how you can go and donate to this very worthy cause as well. So we're looking forward to it, and welcome to the podcast, folks. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Good.
So, guys, like I said, it's a very. I guess you guys are busy now. I mean, getting ready for Islaview Day and stuff, and it's exciting times. But I mean, how long has this been going on now? The Islaview Foundation. When did you start it?
Well, I guess the way it started originally was a day that they created as a fundraiser for us. So they had an event where my brother-in-law, Dan Bursey, he wrote a poem to us to be encouraging, okay, while we're going through with Isla. Anyways, this book turned into a town called Islaview. So they had a fundraiser, I think it was back in 2016, was the first one that they did for us. And then since then, we've been doing it every year annually. So this will be our 5th annual Islaview Day.
Wow.
So before we go on and get into the Islaview Day happenings and the beginning of it, and take us back, we want to hear, and I know it's going to be difficult at times, but I mean, I've sat down with you guys, we've shared a lot of time together. But Sarah, take us back. Tell us all about this hero we call Isla.
Well, I was born in April of 2014, April 28th. She was doing really well for the first year and a half of her life, really. And about, I guess, 17, 18 months of age, started not feeling well. So we brought her to our doctor, and we had a few things checked out, and we found out fairly quickly within a week at the Janeway that she had neuroblastoma, stage 4, which is pretty aggressive cancer. It started on her adrenal gland, and it has metastasized throughout lots of different parts of her body, throughout her skeletal system. And we were very quickly introduced to the world of oncology. So we were on the cancer journey for about 2 years.
Close to 2 years, yeah.
Close to 2 years. I didn't go into remission at all during her journey, but she did relapse, and she ended up passing November 1st, 2017. But to describe Isla, I would say she is such a funny little comedian, really.
Yeah.
Beautiful personality. She fell in love with the staff at the gym. Well, she fell in love with anybody who she came in contact with, and I really feel like people fell in love with her too. She was super polite, and she kind of grew up, in the hospital with the staff. So she was wise beyond her years, I think, because of that.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, she just had this beautiful personality. She was funny. She cared so much for other people. She was so loving. She would even give one of the workers who did blood work collection, she even gave him a kiss one time after drawing blood. And he said that was the first time he's ever been kissed by a child at the Janeway after drawing blood. So, but yeah, she just had a great personality. She was such a fighter. She never complained at all through her whole journey.
No.
And yeah, I don't know how it's lovable, so smart. But I think the main thing we remember about her is how loving she was and how funny she was.
Yeah.
We look back through the videos and stuff like that, and which is hard to do sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I find that we can do that in moderation sometimes, but when we go back and view these videos, you can really see her personality come in, and I think that's what really was important to us. I think that extra time we did get with Isla, we really did see her personality come through.
Yeah.
In those last 2 years of her life. It was really nice to see.
Yeah, I remember going to that first fundraiser that Dan organized for you guys, and I remember watching some videos and some footage and stuff, and I had the opportunity to go around town in Deer Lake and sort of interview a number of people that knew you guys and were very close to you, good close friends, and Isla touched so many lives through this tragedy. I mean, what she went through, and so many people came on board. And I'm amazed, and I'm sure you're amazed at the number of people that have grabbed a hold of this, and from the beginning was a big support in whatever way they could.
Huge. And when you're so far away from home, having all that support back in your hometown when you're going through such a hard time just meant so much to us, and it really kind of kept us going, to be honest, knowing that there was a lot of people behind us, a lot of family, a lot of friends, the whole community. It was really, I still can't put it into words how much it meant to us and how special it was to us at that time. So.
Absolutely. And so, guys, the thing about it is, I noticed after Isla's passing, and you know, you went through a time, of course, of the illness, and then her passing, and the time you needed to be with family, close friends. So, when did you decide we want to do something to remember Isla? We want to do something to keep her memory alive. When did you decide we want to do the Islaview Foundation?
Yeah, I really think it was, well, I think we always wanted to do something even when Isla was going through it, but we just knew it wasn't the right time, obviously. But while we were going through that treatment with Isla, we realized that there was a need for this type of a foundation that can help families. Because there were ones out there that helped us, don't get me wrong, but there's more, to be honest with you, the more the better, I think. So I really think when she did pass, coming up on that May, because they did it for us, you know, in 2016, we really thought, like, okay, coming up this next year, I really feel like we felt like we really needed to do something and keep the momentum going of that same event that we had in May. So really, I think it came down to it was start of 2017, I think, when we started really talking about it more than anything. And then I think it just went from there. It sort of snowballed, and we just kind of brainstormed, and I started asking individuals to join on as board members. But I think that's really, we always want to do something, hey, Sarah, that really kept her memory alive and be able to, spread that love that everybody gave to us in Deer Lake. We wanted to continue with that, throughout the province as well.
I mean, obviously, we would have preferred Isla still to be here and be a part of the Islaview Foundation, but in person, because, I mean, she's still such a huge part of the foundation. We, so many things are inspired by her. We always laugh because she has, like, a coffee named after her, a chocolate bar named after her, town named after her. She would be pretty excited about that. So she's still heavily involved, and she's kind of the center that gives us the inspiration to kind of keep going. Even on the hard days, we do this for her, right? And of course we do it for the families that we're helping, but she is ultimately who we do this for.
As you're seeing that little on the website there, I mean, Deer Lake actually did officially change his name for one day to the town called Olivier, which I thought was pretty amazing. Yeah, actually, I was mistaken. It was 2017 when that first one happened for us, not 16. So my apologies there. But 2017, that was when they actually named the town for one day. It was really nice. Even when planes came in, provincial, they were even saying "Welcome to the town of Olivier," which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was pretty special. So, and I also understand I know. Tell us a little bit about the book that's been written, A Town Called Islaview.
Yeah, so really, Dan woke up one morning and was totally given this gift of this beautiful poem, a play on words for I Love You, the town of Islaview. And it's a story about a man who really finds out what it means to be loved and to love within a town of different characters throughout the book. So, from that, it really grew the foundation. That was the basis of the foundation. And since then, he's had the second book, Tales from Islaview.
Yeah, so he's running a series, and so he released a second book as well, where all neighbors got it good. So it's kind of a little, he's using the same character. Still mentions, obviously, the town of Islaview in there. But I mean, this one was written to us, I think, originally, back Everything was really just as an encouragement. And then we really said to Dan, I was like, this needs to go into a book.
Yeah.
And he was looking for someone to illustrate it for the longest time. Hey, Sarah.
Yeah.
And it just couldn't seem to find the right fit. And then as that year went on, his daughter just became Charlotte, which is his youngest daughter.
Our niece.
Which is our niece.
Yeah.
She just started becoming a really good drawer. She just kept practicing. She just became really good at it. And then all of a sudden he's like, well, I think I'd like to ask my daughter to be the illustrator of this book. So every picture you see in that book is pictures that Charlotte drew herself for this book. It was even more special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really special.
The second book is illustrated by Charlotte too.
It is
fabulous.
Yeah. And
Nice.
she's just better.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
So Michael and Sarah, now you've come to a point back then when you wanted to do something. You came up with the idea of the Islaview Foundation. Take us through that. Let us know what it's about, what you're doing, and how people can get help, how people can donate. And we're going to talk about Islaview Day right after that. So just tell us about your foundation.
Well, the foundation is a foundation that raises money for families who have a child with life-threatening conditions. We have a lot of oncology families, kids with cancer, but we also have a lot of other children that we've helped with really rare life-threatening conditions. We've helped families from right here in Deer Lake, Corner Brook, Stephenville, the Northern Peninsula, Labrador,
Quarterbass,
Central Newfoundland, and quite a few families from the East Coast too. So our foundation helps families right across the province. So as long as you have a child that has a life-threatening illness, you qualify for help from the foundation. So what we do now is children are either referred to us, by a family member or friend, or they can be referred to us by a member of the Janeway team. And we're currently working with the social work department at the Janeway. And we usually give them a folder, and the initial folder comes with a gas card, grocery card, and a referral form, and a little bit of information about our foundation. And then we start communicating with the family, or with the social work team or nursing, whoever kind of makes that first contact. So we help it with so many different things like food and accommodation, travel, whether it's gas, like by ground or flights. And we even had some special circumstances where people have really needed help with mortgage payments or insurances, health insurance, car payments. We've had families who had just moved into a new home, for example, and their child is diagnosed with the life-threatening illness, is going to be in treatment for a year or two, and they had to give up their jobs. And so, sometimes they need help with some of the bigger bills. So we stepped in there too. So
yeah. Our board members just kind of will review these situations on like a as per need basis, I guess you'd say. And if the family's need, is great, and we feel that, it's a great need, then we'll look into helping that family wherever we can, right?
Mm-hmm. And you guys, you're at the point now you have become a registered charity, and people can get a tax receipt for any donations they want to make, and it's like you're making things happen. You're helping so many people.
Yeah, no, it took a bit of a process to get registered, but that's part of it. That's part of the initial startup of a foundation. But that just allows us to get access to so much more, I guess, people that want to donate. A lot of people do want to get some sort of receipt sometimes when they give larger donations, but we don't just get donations, cash donations. We get donations from all kinds of different things, like whether it's, things that we can use for, auction items and that kind of stuff. So it's not just people donating money; it's donating their time, donating their products, and everything, so that we're able to raise those funds to help these families across our province. Yeah.
Now I go ahead, Sarah.
I was going to say, it really is a community organization, a community foundation, because we really rely on our community members and our volunteers and people across the province to jump on board, whether it's to do a bake sale or donate baked goods to a bake sale, to join one of our markets, like Mike said, to donate auction items, or just to have fundraisers within their own business or organization. Like, we really depend on the community to help support the foundation and to ensure that we have the finances to help these families. So we don't have a particular, business organization that funds the foundation. We really rely on everybody to contribute, and we really appreciate that, the fact that it doesn't take much. Everybody comes on board. We get so much help and donations.
It's true. And we do have 10 board members, so we do have a large board. So we can put people where we feel, they best fit those situations when we're doing those things. And then, of course, all the extra help that we get from all the rest of the Islaview communities, this extra. Right? Yeah.
And also you mentioned about keeping in touch with the families. And I know one thing that I really like about your foundation is that your board members are assigned when you pick up a new referral and they come on board and you're helping them. A board member is assigned to a family and to keep in touch periodically.
Yeah, we've been doing that because we just feel like, besides for financial support, it's just nice to have somebody ask how you're doing, and just for emotional support, and be able to just, see if there's anything they need. We've had people who've been having a lot of trouble mental health wise, so, we've been able to link them back to their social work team and just helping them. Not that that's our responsibility, and the social work team, they do a fabulous job. So, but sometimes, if someone reaches out to you, you're able to connect them to the right resources or the right people to get the help they need, because, when you're going through such a hard time, having a child with life-threatening illness is extremely stressful. And there's a lot of factors that not only your financial situation or, job situation or anything like that. Sure, it's the health of your child, and that's so stressful to be always worrying about them, right?
So tell us, just you mentioned earlier on about the connection you have with the Janeway. We know that the Janeway Hospital is our hospital for sick children, and most children that have a serious illness in the province of Labrador end up going to the Janeway. And without mentioning any names, of course, how connected are you to the Janeway? And I know you spent a lot of time there with Isla, and you got to know people, and people in there are connected to the foundation.
We're very connected to the Janeway. We really became really good friends and family really with a lot of the staff that took care of Isla, from the nurses to the physiotherapy team, the doctors, the food services, blood collection. There's just so many people who really played a role in Isla's treatment and really made us, gave us a sense of, comfort while we were there. There were times where, I would wake up from a really long night with Isla. She could have been really sick overnight, and there would be McDonald's coffee just sitting there waiting for me when I woke up from one of the nurses who came in the morning. That happened regularly. They really do have big hearts outside of their regular role, right? So I really think it takes a special person to be a member of that team, because you experience a lot of things, you see a lot of things, and it's a very hard job emotionally as well. So yeah, we're really connected with the social work team, and we have some board members that we get to help us through the Janeway. Just reach out to kids, because obviously for confidentiality reasons, we can't know about children who are in the hospital. Mm-hmm. So our referral folders are there for the team to be able to give out to families in need, and then they contact us, and that's our first point of contact. So that's how we learn about them, is through the initial contact with us, and obviously there's based on a consent form and all that. So there's no breach of confidentiality. We're very, we like to keep things really professional that way and do things right. So yeah, we have a really good relationship with the Janeway team. I think that's really
allowed us to get as many children, help as many children as we did over the last year and a bit, because we had one of our board members that actually works with the Janeway, there. So that really helped us connect, and then of course that connected us with more social work teams, things like that. So it was really good to have that, because it was a good first point of contact, because most of our referrals, let's face it, do come from the Janeway Children's Hospital.
If a child is really, really sick, they usually end up there.
Yeah. And then of course we get the occasional one that comes through on our side of on the West Coast that we hear about. That comes through maybe through family or friends, stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So we still are able to help people outside, obviously, the Janeway, but I'm going to say at least 90% of our children are 95%, I'd say, are at the Janeway, right?
Yeah.
That's where we get the first people.
But I'd like to just make a point that, if there's anybody listening who is in the healthcare system or not in the healthcare system, and you know somebody who needs help, they don't have to be in the Janeway. If they fall under the category of having a life-threatening condition, you can reach out to us directly to our email, islaview.foundation@gmail.com. You can reach out on Facebook or Messenger, and just let us know if there's any family that, is in need or who may qualify. Yeah.
Okay, so we know that the big day is coming, and I remember the first one, I remember the second one, and so on, and it seemed like it grew and grew, but of course COVID came along and changed things, but it doesn't seem like that has slowed down the foundation very much. You're making it in the midst of the pandemic. You're still making things work, and people are working with you and doing things different. And I know, being involved with the Islaview Foundation and helping out during the Islaview days since COVID, things have really worked well. So tell us all about the 28th of May. What's going to happen? What's going on? How people can donate? Give us that information and tell us all about Islaview Day, one of the biggest days in the province.
For sure. Yeah, no, we're really excited. Obviously, this Islaview Day is probably, I'm going to say, by far our favorite day of the year. I know some people say Christmas, but it's not Christmas for us. It's Islaview Day. And what's happening this year? So obviously this year we're doing a lot still online again, but because of some of the restrictions that are eased and stuff like that, what we're finding now is that we're able to do an Islaview market this year in person, because before we had to do everything online, obviously, because we couldn't have people coming in. So we're going to obviously start out. I think that's the biggest one. The biggest ones of the day is going to be a market where we have probably how many vendors, Sarah?
I think about like 15 or 16 vendors.
Yeah, and that's happening on Friday as well, which is on the 28th. That will happen around 3 o'clock, I believe.
Yeah.
And then of course we're also going to have a coffee shop and a bake shop, I guess you'd say, there as well. Bake sale there. So people can pick up baked goods. They can come by, pick up a coffee and that kind of stuff. So I'll let Sarah talk about some of the other things that are happening as well for today.
Yeah. So at the market too, I should mention that we are going to be selling squares on some bigger items. So we have like a couple of really nice items, artwork, and a really nice wood piece, welcome sign, as well as a really nice quilt donated by local members of our community. You can actually buy squares on those when you come through the market. And as well, there's going to be a pretty big bake sale here. So we're actually going to have the active light side of the building just completely bake sale. So admission is by donation, and masks are required. And we will be following public health guidelines in terms of, a sign and sheet for contact tracing, and making sure there's only a safe amount of people in at the one time. At least it looks like it's going to be sunny on Friday, so hopefully you won't be having to wait in the cold like we had at the Christmas market. But and then at around 4:30, we're going to be having. It's the first time we're doing this, but we're doing a drive-through sweet shop. So we're going to have cupcakes by donation, and they're going to be individually wrapped. And we're also going to have the Islaview superhero bar featuring we're going to have Islaview Coffee, which is a collaboration with Gross Warren Coffee. And you can get light, medium, or dark roast. So we had a pre-order for those, but we also had some extra on hand in case people want to buy them. I think
yeah, no, I just wanted to show you. This is one of the things that we partner with. This is our Olivier superhero bear. So this is one of the things that I would be super proud of. She's actually on a chocolate bar. So that's one of the things that she's on. So that's one of our go-to fundraisers that we do.
And I want to tell you, these bars are, I can't even get a word to explain how good they are. They're incredible.
So it's Peace by Chocolate. Peace by Chocolate it's a guy. They're located in over in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
I met that guy one time down the road, and we sort of collaborated. They came up with that great design, and yeah, the bars are excellent. Yeah, I love the bars.
They're really good with some like plain chips, right? Some Ruffles plain chips and Pepsi or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing pretty popular actually. So we're excited to have some more come in, and we weren't sure with everything that was going on in Nova Scotia, but we got them in time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, and then that evening we're also going to have the Olivier Celebration, which is an online celebration, and we take you around the town of Islaview to some people who really made a difference to the foundation and have been really big supporters of the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have some musical acts, some jokes, and just some other special guests that are coming on to the program. We'll also hear from a family we've helped and see some pictures and footage of some families we've helped throughout the last 3 years, I guess. 3 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I just want to touch on that for a minute. So tell us, Michael and Sarah, like you've now helped a lot of families representing children that are very ill. So give us some idea as to how many families now, your ballpark figure you would know, and how much you have actually given out in support, in financial support. That's not counting the other things that you've done for families with sick children.
Yeah, so I mean, last time I checked, which wasn't too long ago, actually, probably a month ago. I do this periodically just to calculate it, to see what we're doing. We definitely helped at least 70 families for sure within the province, for sure, and with over 175,000 in financial support. Yeah.
And how, since when? That's in what amount of time?
Well, see, our foundation launched. I mean, I guess the actual foundation when we did the Auditor Day, when we did our first
April of 2018.
Yeah, so
3 years.
So 3 years really
Yeah.
is that short period of time that we've been able to help that many.
Yeah.
So it's been a great response for sure. Very supportive. And back to what you were saying, some people struggled probably through. I know some foundations probably struggled through, COVID and things like that. But because we're a volunteer-based foundation, we don't have any overhead. So all the money practically goes back to the children. And we realized that once we went online with a lot of our platforms and a lot of our stuff, we were able to reach far more people than we were when we were just having it in the community of Deer Lake / Olivier. So I really feel like COVID was actually, with everything, the lockdown, things like that, and us going online, really helped our foundation. And I think that's what we're going to continue to do going forward. We'll still have online events. We'll still do in person, but I still feel like we have to do things online because we're going to reach so many more people. And last year was by far our best fundraising year we had to date. We raised well over 40,000 last year on Olivier Day. So we're hoping to be able to get, if we can meet that again this year, that'd be great. If we can match that for sure. We'd be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah.
So we know that Islaview Day is the big day of the year, but you have other things. But I mean, people don't have to wait till Islaview Day. How could people give a donation if outside of Islaview Day? Can you give us the information for people to donate?
Yeah. So right now, during this week of Islaview, obviously, we've launched a Facebook campaign. So through Facebook, we launched it just recently, and we got a goal of $10,000 set just through the Facebook. Last year we almost reached 10,000. I think we're at 9,000, something last year. So we set the goal for 10,000 this year. So that's one way you can donate for the week of Olivier. Anytime you want to donate on a regular basis, you can go directly to our website, theoliviewfoundation.ca/donate. Right there, you'll see that there's 3 or 4 ways that you can do that. The first one would be donate now, and it bring you to another page where you can donate right there on our website. It's done through an affiliate company that we use, so everything's secure. You don't have to worry about anything when it comes to your credit card information. It's 100% secured. You click there, and you can start a donation. You can do a one-time donation. You can set up monthly donations through that site as well. So it's a great little platform. And of course, if you wanted to just donate directly to us through e-transfer, or Islaview Foundation at gmail.com, we accept donations through that way, and we will receipt those personally for you. Back to the one we're donating now, you'll get your receipt right away. So if you do it that way, you get your receipt instantly. And of course, you can do cash donations on the spot, like when we're doing, or check donations when we're doing events throughout the year. And of course, you can mail the checks to our foundation address, which is located on that donate now site as well. Yeah. So that's ways you can donate. If on a daily basis, sort of thing, right? But during the Olivier day, there will be many opportunities for you to donate. Yeah.
You can donate at the market. You can donate at the sweet shop drive-through. That's the main 2 locations to donate on Olivier Day in person, where you can drop the check or donation off. A lot of people usually drop it off at Active Life, which is where I work as a physiotherapist. So a lot of people drop donations in there as well. So that's an option too. I should also say that the Facebook campaign, they will issue you a tax receipt, won't they, Mike?
Yeah, it's done through the PayPal Giving Fund.
Yeah.
So PayPal collects all the funds for us. They issue you the receipt, and we get 100% of that. So PayPal does not take a cent from that. So it's still a great way. So 100% of that comes to our foundation to give out, to those families in need.
It's a really great option to get 100% and to be issued, get a receipt and everything right away. So, and Facebook is such a great way to share that information pretty quickly. So, yeah.
Sarah, talk to us a little bit about Islaview Studio. It's a pretty interesting room there in the building where the physiotherapy, Active Life Physiotherapy and Wellness is. Tell us about the Islaview Studio and what's there.
Yeah, so the Islaview Studio is owned by Active Life Physiotherapy and Wellness, and of course we named it after Isla. It's just a really calming, peaceful space that we get to use for so many different events. So we can use it anytime for the foundation for any of our events for free. We host and we rent it out too to different people. So there's yoga by Barb Keynes and Carmelita Morgan. There is usually, before COVID, a 50-plus exercise class that I run. And there's other classes that we have there as well, wellness classes. The biggest addition, I guess, we just added to that space is a suspended track on the ceiling called the Solo Step, which is a weight-supported system that we're going to use to open a neurological rehab program, which is going to start up in mid-June. So that's operated by our physiotherapy team. I think a lot of people mistake the Islaview Studio for the Olivier Foundation. So it is completely separate. The studio is owned and operated by Active Life, but we use it anytime we need to for the foundation or for foundation events, or if there's a community group in need and they need a space to hold a fundraiser, things like that. We often work with them and help them out with the space in that.
And inside that space, the walls are just memories and things about Isla.
They are. Every part of the wall, every part of the space is a reminder of Isla, especially the back part of the wall is, I should have brought some bravery beads out tonight.
Yeah, so
bravery beads from her journey.
We would have did it out there, but there's yoga happening out there as we speak. So we would have done that out there, and we could have given you a little tour, but obviously we can't do that at this moment. But on the walls, so basically what we did, so Isla has these bravery beads. Just to tell you what the bravery beads are and what they represent. She approximately, I estimated that she had over 1,800 beads. So each bead represents either a procedure, a visit, a treatment, anything that happens at the Janeway, like that. Every bead represents something. So she had over 1,800 beads. And I think it worked to be about 80 feet of the beads. That's how much stuff she went through. So it really is a story of her life. But what we wanted to do was we had to display the beads because it's so long, and we didn't want to just leave them hung up there because they're so special. We wanted to keep them at our house as well. So we decided to spell some words out of them, right? And so some of the words that we spelled out were like I love you, hope, peace, love. So we had those basically blown up on big canvases, put around the walls as well. Back to what we were saying, this superhero bar. We even have a picture on there as well, very similar to this. And one of our local artists in town, digital, does graphic design. He did that for us as well. So it's really a nice place to just go there. And sometimes you just want to just go in there and just sit there sometimes, not say anything and just be in the moment, because it really, when you look around, it's very peaceful. It reminds you of Isla. It reminds you of who she was, what she represented. And I think the place, the space is very, it gives you a really good feeling, I think, overall. I really like the space. And of course, that is our host space for any foundation event. I mean, because it's just a perfect space, because it's filled with a lot of Isla memories, which is basically what represents Isla Foundation. Yeah.
Well, Michael and Sarah, listen, to be able to take such a sad time in your lives and to turn it into something as positive and far-reaching as the Islaview Foundation, you are to be commended. Absolutely. And there's one other thing I want to mention. I noticed, and it's happened since the first Islaview Day, I think. It seems like the business community here in this area and outside this area has been something else. To go by a business and see their sign change and welcome Islaview Foundation, and look at the electronic billboards and see people supporting it. It's just amazing what people are doing for the foundation.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a big part of it too. Yeah, getting the community very involved. When the town originally first changed their name, I think what we wanted to do was, even though the town wasn't going to do it every year going forward, and like that, but really the businesses just decided to put it on. So Deer Lake did become Islaview on that day. It does become Islaview, and did.
So, what are some creative things that the businesses have come up with, Sarah, to show support?
So we've had, of course, businesses usually change their name. So, for example, I'll give you one example. This Friday, the golf course is going to be named Islaview. I don't know if it's Islaview River Golf Course or no, I think it's just Islaview Golf Course. And same thing with other organizations across town. You'll see like cupcake sales, different little fundraisers at each business. We partnered with restaurants this year and really, encouraged a partnership there because, the restaurant industry was hit so hard with COVID. So we thought, well, why don't we partner with them and maybe they can offer some sort of special or discount or something that the proceeds go towards the foundation, and then support people are coming out to support that particular restaurant. So we've had restaurants all over town. We've had the Cover Theater Gastropub in Corner Brook come on, Sugar and Dice in Corner Brook. So we're really happy to also see businesses outside of Deer Lake get involved. I think people think sometimes that Islaview Foundation is only helping kids either on the West Coast or in the community of Deer Lake, when in fact we've helped probably more kids on the East Coast for the population.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to see a lot of other businesses become involved across the island, because it is an island-wide foundation.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's one of the biggest things that we want to try to work on in the next few years, is to really get out around the province and promote the foundation and let people know that we are helping kids and families from your community.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
So, but there's been lots of creative ideas. The coffee roasters have come up with the Isla Brew coffee. Rough Waters has done a neighborly craft beer, which proceeds will go towards the foundation.
Well, we have a gentleman in town that bakes, Carl Smith. He's a baker. I think he's baked, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to throw this number right there, but over 300 pies. I mean, he's 82 or 83 years old. He just loves to just help out. And so, I mean, that guy is a great, so it just goes to show, like, when people, I guess when people want to just help out and with their giving hearts, they just want to just do what they can for us, right? And so it's just things like that.
Yeah, like some restaurants are giving their tips for the week. Some are giving like a percentage of an item or a menu item. Juniper scrapers, they have some scrapers made with the foundation logo in them. So we're going to have those on hand at the market.
Yeah, I think we're going to launch, I think we kind of did a last minute thing with an online auction. So we have a lot of businesses donating items for auction items as well. So, I mean,
so there will be an online auction this again?
There will be, yes.
There will be. And so we were going to wait for the online auction, but we had about 10 really nice donations, and I really didn't really know how we should promote them or what we should do with them. So on Saturday, we just decided we're going to go for it. And so we reached out and wrote people in the business community and people we knew. And I think we're at 75 items already.
Wow.
And I'm talking really nice items, like they're all really nice items, but there's
something for everybody.
There's something for everybody. There's gift certificates for restaurants. There's Humber Valley golf passes. There's Humber River Golf Club passes. There's nights at the Holiday Inn, Rocky Brook Cabins, Cache Rapids. There's a really nice heart sweater from Melanie Jacqueline, who's one of my really good friends. And there's just a ton of different things. Yeah, I can't name it all, but there's a lot of really nice items.
But I mean, the
gym memberships and yoga gift certificate. There's just so many things. So massages, a lot of stuff.
So once again, Friday, May the 28th is Islaview Day. You can go to the Islaview Foundation website to see all of the events, everything that's taking place. You can donate there. Any questions, you can contact the Islaview Foundation. And if there's anyone out there in the future, we know that this is going to continue on for a long time into the future. So if there's anyone out there listening to this podcast tonight, or will listen to it over the next number of days, and you would like to be a contributor, or you would like to be a part of the Islaview Foundation, you can get in contact with the foundation. And I'm sure Michael and Sarah would be just eager to chat with you and see what you can do to partner with the foundation. And listen, the bottom line is it's for children and families of children that are going through some terrible times, and anything that we can do, anything the foundation can do to ease that burden, that's what it's about. And the more people give, the more you can help.
That's correct.
Yeah, and is giving hearts. We rely on that to be able to help those children for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, Sarah and Michael, thank you so much for being here tonight. And I'm looking forward to Islaview Day. I'm looking forward to helping out and seeing what's happening. And you know what? One of the biggest pleasures for me during the Islaview Day is seeing the expression on people's face, whether they're getting something at the auction or they're buying something at the bake sale, which always gets sold out. And they know that they're helping somebody who really, really needs it.
That's right. And we're really looking forward to bringing back that breakfast event that we did when we're allowed to do that. I think that was a big thing. We were able to communicate and see so many people at that point, because you were mentioning that you're seeing people's faces. And that was one spot that I found that you could really get in touch with a lot of people and really spread the love. Started the day up great. But we're just going to start things differently this year, and we'll go online and do our thing like we always do.
And that breakfast was a breakfast that was free, only by donation. If someone wanted to come in and donate, or if they just wanted to come in and have a breakfast with the members of the community. How many did you serve? How many was it the last time?
I think it was about 2,400 or something like that, or 28 between there. 20, it was over 2,500 breakfasts that were served at the last one we did, which was back in 2019. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bringing that one back, I think that's going to be a great event. I think people will be pretty eager to come out to something like that again when it's safe to do so, for sure. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys got lots of work still to do to get ready for Islaview Day. Both of you working, but you've put so much time into this. And again, I want to say congratulations on a great endeavor that you've taken on, and it's very successful. And I will say this, that Michael and Sarah has a beautiful little daughter named Sophie, who is how old now?
She will be 2 on June 8th.
She will be 2 on June 8th. And if you get to meet Sophie, I'm telling you, you'll get a little taste of Isla, just a little taste of what Isla was like. And Sophie's going to be a big sister.
Yes.
That's right.
She is.
Congratulations. Thanks again for being on the podcast, and we'll talk to you real soon.
For sure.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, folks, to you that are listening tonight that have watched this podcast with Sarah and Michael, we want to thank you for joining us. And again, there's lots of information out there if you want to contribute to the Islaview Foundation, a very, very powerful foundation that's helping so many families across the province and throughout Newfoundland and Labrador. And there's always a child and a family in need. And to have a foundation like this to help out, it's certainly a great thing. That's Friday, May 28th, Islaview Day. Log on to Facebook, log on to their webpage, see what you do to contribute and help families throughout this province. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again real soon.